think that discipline is a love language to your future self. Um, it is staying consistent even when there is no applause. It is trusting the small processes. It is trusting, the stillness as well. I stay disciplined because I know what's at stake. I came across cybersecurity at a time where I was trying to blend purpose with impact. Right, I have always been a curious person, curious as to the whys and the hows of systems, which led to me wanting to know just how secure those systems were. Okay, so I got into cybersecurity through the Cyber Girls Fellowship. It's Africa's biggest cybersecurity training for African women. Before I started my Cyber Girls training, I already did my research, right? I already did like extensive research on cybersecurity, what path I want to get into in cybersecurity. So like Cyber Girls Fellowship came at a time that I like was finalized on, what I am getting into cybersecurity. So it was like very, very coincidence, I was to say. I don't see myself protecting just data, right? I feel like I'm protecting people, and that in itself re-anchors me every time, right? And it's about pattern recognition, intuition, logic, and all of that. I think that for a lot of us in this field, we see this a lot that cybersecurity is about paranoia. Like you have to be paranoid. It's like part of the things that makes you alert as a security analyst, yeah. But I think that I try my best to separate vigilance from anxiety, right? I try to protect my own like personal peace, and with that I'm able to separate. I've built routines and all of that. With that I'm able to not allow my vigilance about my work become my personality. At the end of the day, we have to remind ourselves that resting is strategic, right? You're not a robot, you're not a machine, right? You need these rituals in place to ground you. So personally, what I do is that I take my morning stillness very seriously, right? Those days where you wake up and then you lay in bed and then you gather your thoughts. These are things that are actually very important for you as an individual, because I see the mind as a balloon, right? So when you keep pumping into it without letting air out, it might explode. So you have to pump it out as you're pumping it in, basically. And that is where my morning stillness comes in, where your mind basically wanders, recollects things. That is the default mode network, basically, where you have the creativity spark and everything. So yeah. A lot of it is about, digging stuff up. Right. The exciting part is where you dig and you dig and you dig and you find something, and then the world is better again. And then I think that at the end of the day, whether it's routine, I don't see my job as routine, by the way. And a lot of people see like security investigations at some point as routine, but I find it exciting because during my investigations, during my research, I get to learn a lot of other things. I get to learn things that probably were not even related to, like, directly related to what I was researching on, and that in itself is like a lot of knowledge for me. So I get to learn, and I love to learn. So I get to learn, and it's exciting. I'll just say it's exciting, really. It was messy, right? People tend to think that it's been smooth. A lot of times, there is that, I would call it a misconception, right? But it was messy. I have failed, I have pivoted, I have doubted. There are nights when I have lots of questions as to if I really want to do this thing. I feel like a symbol, right? Being the only woman in a room filled with tech geniuses, cybersecurity people, like top people. And other times I feel like overlooked because African woman in tech. It's like three things in one, three different lenses. First African, then woman, then in tech, then African woman in tech, like come on. So yeah, sometimes I feel like a symbol, and other times it's like I'm not even there. But over time I have learned to re-anchor myself on why I am here, not who sees me. Over time I have felt like I needed to earn my spot. I needed to prove that I am technical, I'm not just a pretty face. And yeah, I said that. Yeah, so but I have learned to stop performing and start owning, because I've gotten to a point where I realized that my brilliance is not up for negotiation, and I'm not here by accident, right? So I'm here and I bring depth. I know what I bring. So yeah, the rest of it is speaking for itself now. I see complexity where people see like surface level. I don't take surface level stuff, right? That is me as an individual. I don't take surface level stuff. Now, putting that in my career in problem solving, it means that when something looks like, oh, it's a normal process, it's a false positive in cybersecurity terms, I want to know and confirm that it actually is that. So yes, my personality does shape the way I approach problem solving, like generally, yeah. Fundamentally, so younger Victoria did not dream in roles. She dreams in impact, right? I have always wanted to do something that matters, something that is fundamental, something that, you know, it's necessary to do. I want to normalize greatness in African women, not as an exception, but like normal, like it's normal. Right? I want to leave behind systems, truths, tools, things in place for the next girl to dream bigger and better and faster. I stay disciplined because I know what's at stake. My legacy, my people, my purpose as well. You probably heard this before, but I want to re-echo it to you, because there are moments where these things do not come to mind. You have to put yourself in that space where you remember. So this might just be the video for you to, play back in your head when you get into these moments. You will be underestimated, right? But don't you dare shrink. There is space for you here. The world needs your mind, needs your brilliance. You don't have to be like them. Win as you. There's always something to do. I am a very, very ambitious person, and there is a lot in my head. Like I love to, think about what I want to have in place and work towards executing exactly that. There are lots of ideas in mind and all of that, but there are moments where, I actually stop and then I'm like, I've actually done this. Like, I am here. Yeah, so I get into these moments, but I don't stop. No, I keep going. Keep going.